motherfucking music.
Well, hello there, pumpers. How are you all doing on today? I am Robert DeMarco, and you have tuned into yet another episode of Robert DeMarco Up in Pumps, but today I'm not motherfucking cooking nothing. So, basically, my motherfucking dog is barking in the background or whatever, but that's fine. The motherfucker waited till I went live on this video to want to decide he want to motherfucking, bark. But that's fine. So, anyway, hello. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in to Robert DeMarco Up in Pumps. Usually I cook, like I said, but I'm not cooking the motherfucking thing right now. I'm coming to you with something special. So if this is your first time, you're in for a treat. I am doing a video called Storytime. I'm going to do a Storytime series that is going to pretty much let you in on a couple of my past stories, current stories, things that have happened to me about life. Hopefully they'll be inspirational. Y'all see my shoes? Brought out an old friend today. But hopefully it'll be inspirational for you to, do some different things in life and maybe take my story and learn from it or tell somebody else about it or cuss me the fuck out. I don't know. Do whatever you want to do with it. But this is a Storytime series that I'm doing. It's going to be real, very truthful. I'm telling you, things about myself that I think are interesting. So we're gonna go ahead and get to it. If you are a diehard pumper, you've been with me since the Alfredo potato video. I love you. Thank you for tuning in again. For all of you, please like, share, and subscribe this video to all of your friends, your family members. Let them know it's a crazy motherfucker who be wearing heels on YouTube doing all kind of crazy shit. He be cooking and everything. He be telling all his motherfucking business or whatever. Make sure you tell them that. I really appreciate it and I love you again. But let's get started. So today's story time is going to be, and I don't know why I titled it this, because a story time is coming out the closet, so it's my coming out story, but it's story time coming out the closet. I don't know why the fuck I titled that, because baby, my closet has been wide open since day one. But anyway, so if my story helps you out, I hope so. Maybe you are struggling with coming out. Maybe you are a parent who has a child that you may want to know or maybe considering having a conversation with about it. But here's my story. So I'm gonna take y'all way back, pre actually coming out, because this other stuff will kind of lead up to what really happened when I was 15 motherfucking years old. Okay? So, my best friend would love to tell you all that I've been a hoe all my life. And that's not true. I ain't been no hoe. But I did have me, girlfriends and boyfriends in elementary school, like first and second grade, kindergarten. I got married on the playground like some of y'all crazy asses did too. And, I had two boyfriends at the same time. I was dating twin girls. I stole a ring from my grandmother's jewelry box to get to one of the girls. Got my ass whipped with an extension cord. Like, seriously. But anyway, I've always, and I say that to say, not to tell y'all about how much of a hoe I am, but, or was, to tell you pretty much, I've had experiences with young men, boys, when I was a kid. So, to me, I think I was born this way. There's a big debate about not being born and, whether somebody taught you this or you didn't have a father and all of those crazy shit. I'm a person living in this body and living in this reality, and I know that there are certain things that I wouldn't choose to do and all of that, and I know what I've had in my mind from as long as I can remember what I've had in my mind. So let's fast forward from me being married on playgrounds or whatever to, well, no, let me tell y'all this part. So I told you I had two boyfriends, and they were two of them. I had them at about the same time. Pretty much, I used to jump between one and the other one because one of the boyfriends thought he wanted him a girlfriend, so he was doing that with her. And this is first and second grade now, mind you, wasn't nothing really seriously going on, but in our minds, you mind. So anyway, this one particular one, about 5, 6, maybe 7 years ago, hit me up on Facebook and sent a message and was like, "Hey, I ain't seen you in a while. Nice to see you." And da 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 da. And at the end of his message, he put, "And just know that I don't forget anything." I'm like, "Bitch, what?" So that ended that. That ended that conversation. I wasn't going anywhere with that. It's a little, yeah. So anyway, fast forward a little bit more. I had me a little male friend. I was about 14, 15. Had me a little male friend. And that summer is when I had met this particular male friend. I'm not going to name names, I guess. I guess I'll be... Well, Jonathan is his name. My mother would know because Jonathan was very pivotal at that time. So, his name is Jonathan, and he wouldn't mind because he is very comfortable in his own skin and all of that. But Jonathan was my little male friend at that time between 14 and 15. And I had finally got me like a little summer job. I had been working at Taco Bell and all this and that. And I finally got like a real, in my mind it was a real job. I became a busboy at a restaurant named Eastside Mario's. So I was, going back and forth to work. And this is like the end of the summertime, and besides going to work, coming home, being up all night on the phone, and doing all kind of teenage stuff, caking at what y'all call it now. But we would be up on the phone, falling asleep on the phone, waking up, all that, talking on the phone. So I had me a cell phone. No, I didn't have the cell phone yet. I think I got it after this conversation. But house phones were still around then. And one particular day I was getting ready for work. And I went into my room and put on my uniform and everything, and I heard the phone ring. And my mother answered it, and she's like, "He will have to call you back," or whatever. So I come out my room, and I'm like, you ready?" She's like, "Yeah, but let me ask you something." She's still sitting there on the couch, just calm, cool, collected. She said, "So, that was Jonathan who just called you. I told him you was getting ready to go to work or whatever, but let me just ask you something." I'm like, "Okay." And she said, "How many girls call here for you?" I was like, some. In my mind, I'm counting Maya. I'm counting my cousin Brandy. A few of, those two girls. Both, Maya was one of my girlfriends in 6th grade, but we didn't know about what was going on then, but that's a whole nother story. But anyway, she was one of my girls in 6th grade, and her and my cousin hit it off and got real close to each other. And so they would be the ones that would call me, laughing Kiki on the phone all night long too, if I wasn't talking to Jonathan. So I said, some girls, how many girls call you? Some girls or whatever. Now at this time, I'm gonna be real honest with you. Jonathan was calling me, Terrell was calling me, probably somebody else was calling me or whatever. But she was like, "So you said a few. Okay, so how many boys call you?" And I'm like, "Probably the same, a couple." And she was like, "Okay." And she left it at that. So my mind, as we rode down the street in her white Pontiac Sunfire GT, my mind is on, okay, she knows something's up here because she asking me questions and now she know. So I get to work and I go to the back room and I call Jonathan, like, "Jonathan, I need for you to tell me what I need to do." Now I don't know why I called him because he wasn't, he was still the same age as me. It wasn't like he had conversation with his mother, but I just needed somebody to talk to. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, she gonna know and she gonna say this and she gonna be this, that, and the other, and you can't call me that much and all this whole big thing, and I'm at work, So I worked my shift, bust my little tables, went in the back room and tipped out, got my little cut or whatever. And it's about 10:30 because I worked 5 to 10, I think. And so my mother pulled up outside. Now me, Mr. Professional, Mr. always been mature and think shit out and overanalyze shit. I'm getting in the car with my mother and I'm like, hey, she's like, hey, how was your night? I'm like, I'm good, you know. She was like, oh, okay, and she didn't say nothing. She turned her music back up, and so I waited till like a commercial came on or whatever. Or maybe I turned the music down. I can't remember. But she was like, I said, Ma, when I get my check this Wednesday, I would like to take you out to lunch. She said, well, what you want to take me out to lunch for? Now, mind you, my mother probably motherfucking knew what was going on. Because like I said, my closet door been open since day one. But I was like, I want to take you out to lunch. And she was like, for what? I said, so we can talk. She said, oh, no, you can talk to me at home. You ain't got to take me out to no damn lunch to talk to me. And that was that. So I'm like, okay. So my mind's like, okay, well, damn, now I got to talk to her when I get home. Because she's going to ask me, so what you want to talk about? So I'm like, okay. So we get home. We driving from, I think it was like Livonia or somewhere where this restaurant was. And then we drove back to Warrendale, which is right near Dearborn. So we pulling up at the house or whatever. My mind is I need to go in here and get these dishes done because that was my chore. I had to get the dishes done before I went to bed. No dirty kitchen, whatever. So I'm like, okay. So I go in there, take my uniform off, go in there and start cleaning the kitchen. Now our house, the kitchen was here, and then over here was another room, which was dining room, but they were connected. So I'm like, I'm washing the dishes. I'm like, Ma. And she was like, yes. I'm like, can you come in here and sit down for a minute? I want to talk to you. And she was like, okay. So she immediately lit up a motherfucking cigarette. I heard. She came in there with her ashtray and her cigarette. And she sat down. And she was just looking straight ahead. You know, looking at our china cabinet or whatever. Smoking her cigarette. And I'm looking straight ahead at my dishes or whatever. And I'm like, well... So part of me is one way and part of me is another way. And she was like, nigga, you ain't motherfucking bisexual, you gay and always have been gay, so whatever. And so I'm like, okay. That escalated quickly. So I'm like, okay, and so I'm watching this and she was like, yeah. So she said, come on over here and sit down and let's talk about this. I said, okay. So I went over here and sat down. I'm like, I knew you kind of knew when you had asked me how many boys call me or whatever. So it's been on my mind. She said, mm-hmm. So she's still smoking her cigarette, whatever. I said, because what I was going to do is I was going to wait and take you on like a Jerry Springer or something like that and tell you because, you know, I needed that support. She said, and that's when I would have whooped your motherfucking ass. Because you're not going to take me out here in front of everybody and do X, Y, and embarrass me like that. Or not embarrass her, but you're not going to tell me that's something you could have talked to me at home. So I'm like, okay. So I had a weight lifted up a little bit, but she still hadn't given me any kind of inkling that she was going, where she was at with that. So she smoked her cigarette or whatever, and she put it out. She said, well, I've known for a very long time. She said that, you know, my godmother and other people, she had conversations with people and all of that. You know, as a mother and as a parent raising your kids, you got questions and shit. So, you know, you want to know what's up and if somebody, you know, can talk to you or whatever. So, we talked a little bit about that. And she said, you know, so I'm glad you finally told me. I was just waiting on you because I had plenty of times was going to ask you. But I just wanted to wait on you. And I'm like, okay, good. So, again, my mind is still, you know, like, wow, this is much easier than I thought it was going to be. So, we sat there for a good 2 hours talking about people that I know that is, people that we thought was, people, you know, in the family, all that kind of stuff. Just we had good conversation. But she also let me know at that point that she's going to love me regardless. She said to me, you are my child and I'm going to love you regardless of what. You know, yeah, all parents have, you know, plans and stuff for their kids and all that. But if it don't go that way, then I understand. But I love you regardless. You're still my motherfucking child. And she made sure I finished the motherfucking dishes before I went to bed. So, from that, I gathered that in my mind, while I'm over there finishing up them dishes, I'm like, okay, well, cool, I'm good. As long as my motherfucking mama know, I don't go fuck who questioning, who got a problem or whatever. I mean, that was the most liberating moment for me because only person that really could judge me and that really would bother me is my mother. So once I knew that she was okay with it, I'm like, if a person got a problem with it, I'm just going to tell my mama. Or if somebody say something to me at school about it, I'm going to just tell my mama and she's going to get them together. Because that from day one, when we first had the conversation, she was accepting. She didn't go through this, oh, I need some time and all this and that. And while some people do need that, she was real, and was like, I'm gonna love you regardless. And I know she had called her mother and had that conversation with her about, Robert said this, that, and the other. My grandmother, her concerns were she just didn't want me to be, like a statistic and, those kinds of things. She was only concerned about that. But other than that, she has loved me and told me on that same day in her basement when we went over there after that conversation the first time. I was scared as fuck seeing my family after that because I knew my mother had, had her support system and she needed to talk to some people. So the first time we went, I think that was a Wednesday or Tuesday or Monday or something. That weekend we went over to my grandma's house like we always do, chilling in the basement, family having a kickback, whatever. And I was scared, like, okay, Lord, I know my mom had told these people, so let me get over here and see what's up. So my grandmother, like I said, the first thing she did was she hugged me tight and said, I just don't want you to have no problems and this, that, and the other. But then she hugged me and kissed me, and then she got drunk, and then she cussed everybody out in the motherfucking basement and told them how I'm still her goddamn grandbaby, her first goddamn grandbaby, and ain't been no motherfucker but not say a motherfucking thing about it. And my auntie Diane was there and said, you goddamn right. So that was that. I think I was fortunate to have that kind of support system. The moral of this story, though, is if you are a person who may be struggling, whether you young, old, grown, or whatever, it's okay to know who you are. I was fortunate enough to try to kind of figure that out when I was younger, so I didn't have an issue or an issue. If you are a person struggling with it, just consider finding you somebody who would be willing to allow you to be yourself, whether it be your mother or whomever. That one person will take you a long way in understanding and being okay with you. Okay? If you are a parent, and I am one, I have a 9 or 8-year-old, she'll be 9 in a couple weeks, and you have questions, or you know that your child is gay, you're just waiting on them, and you see them bringing these little fake ass girlfriends or boyfriends home, and you know damn well that ain't what they want, and that ain't what they doing. Do what my mother did and wait. Wait for them to wait for them to feel comfortable with talking to you. But then immediately embrace them. Don't put them through some mental anguish and all this and that, and I need to figure. Just embrace them, because that's gonna make them feel. That's gonna give them a boost of confidence to go further in life. And that's all I can tell you. But that's my story, and hopefully it will help and bless somebody. I know it is. It's a simple story, but it is yet a story, and that took a lot out of me as a 15-year-old to stand in that kitchen and watch them motherfucking dishes, bust them goddamn suds, and tell my mama, I like boys. So, yeah. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video. Share this video, especially share it with somebody who you think needs to hear it. I love you all. I'm going to sit here and continue to nap with my motherfucking shoes, my babies, my old friends. Y'all like my little picture display against my wall? I love it. I've had it since Christmas up there. Window thought I was going to put it up just for Christmas, but no, it's staying up. But anyway, like, share, subscribe to this video, comment. Tell me your stories at the bottom. Tell me some ideas. Tell me what you want me to tell you. Ask me to tell you something. Get in my motherfucking business. I love you all, and thank you for watching. You have a wonderful day, y'all.